September 11th, 1973. A date that would become a turning point in Chilean history, marking the beginning of a transformation that would reshape an entire nation. What happened on this day changed Chile forever. This is the story of a nation divided and the events that still echo today. To understand 1973, we need to go back 3 years earlier. Chile in 1970 was at a crossroads, facing a historic election that would set everything in motion. Salvador Allende won the presidency in 1970, becoming the first Marxist elected as president in Latin America through democratic means. His victory represented hope for some and concern for others. Allende's government moved quickly to implement socialist reforms. Industries were nationalized, particularly the vital copper mines that formed Chile's economic backbone. Land reform redistributed property, and workers gained new rights. But these changes created deep divisions. Chile became increasingly polarized between those who supported the revolution and those who feared it was going too far. By 1973, the economic situation had deteriorated dramatically. Inflation soared past 600%. Store shelves emptied. Long lines formed for basic necessities like bread and cooking oil. Who was responsible for the crisis? Allende's supporters pointed to economic sabotage and external interference. His opponents blamed socialist policies and mismanagement. This wasn't just a Chilean story. The Cold War was at its height, and both superpowers saw Chile as a critical battleground for influence in Latin America. September 11th began like any other day. But by early morning, military units were moving into position across Santiago, the capital city. General Augusto Pinochet, commander of the army, led the military forces. Navy ships blocked ports. Air Force jets flew overhead. The coup had begun. The presidential palace, La Moneda, became the focal point. President Allende was inside with a small group of supporters, refusing demands to resign and leave. In a final radio address, Allende spoke to the Chilean people about democracy, sovereignty, and his vision for the country. His voice was calm but resolute. He would not surrender. The military attacked La Moneda. Fighter jets bombed the building. By afternoon, the palace was in flames and President Allende was dead. General Pinochet assumed power, initially as part of a military junta. What many thought would be a temporary intervention became a dictatorship, lasting nearly 17 years. The regime brought in free market economists known as the Chicago Boys. They privatized industries, opened markets, and restructured the economy along capitalist lines. But this transformation came at a terrible human cost. Thousands were detained without trial. Many disappeared. Torture and killings were documented by later investigations. The international community was divided. Some governments condemned the coup, while others quietly supported it as a bulwark against communism. In 1988, Pinochet held a plebiscite on his continued rule. Chileans voted no. By 1990, democracy was restored, though the shadow of dictatorship remained. Today, Chile continues to grapple with this history. Memory sites preserve the stories. Families still seek answers. And the political debates of 1973 still shape Chilean society. Understanding this history helps us appreciate how fragile democracy can be and why protecting it matters.